Live from virtual Lebanon, Iowa, we welcome race fans one and all here to a beautiful Tuesday night where we get set once again to go racing in the OMSRL Xfinity Series. Welcome to Iowa and to the Iowa Speedway for your running of the Clash of the Corn Cobs 140. My name is Nolan Rampel. I'll be bringing you all of the coverage here tonight from Newton, Iowa as we get set to go racing around this .875 mile short track for what should be a very thrilling 140 laps of racing action here tonight. It's going to be, no doubt, an action-packed race from start to finish as all drivers are getting themselves set up for yet another run of racing action here tonight. We go and take a look at your championship standings entering tonight's race, where it is still the likes of Holden McGill up on the top of the point standings by just a good old 22 over the likes of Nathan Schifflet. Zach Kreischer sits back in third with Robert Peterson to bring it up in that number 4 position. We obviously are still in the early goings here of this season, so there's very much still the potential for this to be, no doubt, an intense race for all drivers involved. As we get set to go racing, you can tell just how tight it is in the point standings with several ties. Just 2 races in with, of course, the factored in the stages here tonight. You look down throughout the rest of the points championship, and it is much the same with a lot of drivers still nice and tight all the way from top to bottom as we'll get set to go racing for what could be, I think, one of the more bigger swings we'll be seeing in the points championship, as it'll be, for the first time, a race where we will not be seeing a lot of drivers with an early run here. So we'll be looking to make our way into qualifying here from the Iowa Speedway, and a lot of drivers already out on the racing circuit, including the likes here of Michael Kenner. We have 16 out of, I believe, a registered 22 drivers that have put down lap times thus far as we get set to work our way through this 5-minute session. We've got just 2.5 minutes on the boards here as we'll be getting ourselves all sorted for what your starting grid will be looking like later on here in this one, as Michael Kenner will put himself 9th quick on top of the timing sheets. So Kenner with that 9th fastest lap out of Beechwood, New Jersey, going to be looking to put himself a bit further up, though, inside the top 10 as he'll come on down. The start-finish stretch. Will it be any sort of improvement for Michael Kenner this time by? It will! He'll shoot to 2nd quick on the timing boards, and a beautiful time there from Michael Kenner. Will put himself up a 2nd with a 23.839. We look back to Colby Wells working his way out the final corner. He's going to lose control, though, and he'll spin it down into the infield grass. So no time logged for Colby Wells. He will sit 16th fastest on the boards. That, of course, will bring up now Robert Peterson. The driver's working his outlap as it stands. We're going to go on board with Peterson, his Xfinity number 97 Mustangs. He'll take you for a couple of laps around the Iowa Speedway. And he's going to loop the back end on the back straightaway, and that's going to send Peterson down into the infield, and that's going to be an effective time to lead it now for Robert Peterson, who's going to be not find himself with the ability to put down that 2nd critical lap. Spencer Ray still sits on the pole in his number 6 Toyota Supra as we get set to go racing for 140 laps here tonight. Stage break will be at lap number 55. We'll get into all the nuances of what all this could mean for the rest of your field in just a little while. But for now, with just 15 seconds left on the grid, it is about time that we take a rundown and show you how things are going to line on up as we'll get set to go racing for what should be a very thrilling run of 140 laps here at the beautiful Iowa Speedway. Checker flag will fly. We tick things officially over into the race session, and this is how your starting grid looks. It is going to be the likes of Spencer Ray up on pole with Michael Kenner for Kenner Baker Racing down to line it up on that front row. We're going to be having the likes of Anthony Musatti down in third. Zachary Kreis going to be in fourth, with Matt Cherry for Next Level Motorsports going to be in fifth. Nathan Shiflett will be back in the number 6 spot. Gage Teft is down in 7th, with Brandon Kluge for HW Racing in 8th to round out row number 4. You've got row 5 holding the likes here of Grant Peterson for Badger Racing and Stefan Purcell for Shake and Bake. Moving down through the field, 11th place going to be the likes of Ryan Dingler, Bear Morton in 12th. Sean Kaiser for All-American Motorsports going to be in 13th, with Robert Peterson qualifying in 14th. Nathaniel Ames for Shake and Bake going to be in 15th, with Holden McGill in 16th. Colby Wells out of the Virginia is going to be in 17th, with Jason Layton in 18th. Jacob Noyes is in 19th. Brett Vandehey, the last driver to put down a qualifying lap, over 1.3 seconds down on pole sitter Spencer Ray. Kyle Green, Hunter Thrower, and Corey Paya going to round out your 23-car field here tonight, as Paya entering in as a very last-minute register. We weren't sure if he'd be able to make it tonight, but he's going to get himself all sorted, and we'll be able to get ourselves rolling. It is, of course, the Clash of the Corn Cobs 140, and being in Iowa, it seems only fitting that we have ourselves with a little bit of a corn theme. Not a lot of drivers opting to go for that theme, but we can take a look over. You can see there's a little bit of an addition to Spencer Ray's car. He's got himself all wrapped up in corn on the Apex Action Supra. Looking down to the inside, that runs all the way up and over the car from the right front fender all the way back to the rear. And that, of course, is over on the left-hand side as well. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that here in this one, as Michael Kenner currently getting a face full of that one out of his driver's side window as we line it up on that front row. We're ready to go racing here from the Iowa Speedway. All cars have gridded on up. We'll get set to roll behind the iRacing pace car for the first of 2 laps here tonight before we get things properly underway. I think at this point, let me see if we can't talk to at least one of these drivers before we get started for tonight's race. And how about we see if we can't get in a hold of Nathaniel Ames, the driver getting started down in that number 15 position. Nathaniel Ames, this is Rempel at the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Dune Nolan. How's it going?
I'm doing just fine, and it sounds like you're busy working on strategy down there, so we'll keep this short and brief. What do you think you're going to have to do to see if you can't get that car to a top 10 tonight?
A whole lot. I mean, Iowa and Richmond. So I was just explaining to the guys, Iowa and Richmond is not my strongest track. So, we got a lot to do. Hopefully some guys wreck out and tire strategy plays into my part of making another top 10 this week.
Well, hopefully we'll be seeing you with a bit more luck here at the Iowa Speedway here tonight from Newton, Iowa, and we'll wish you the best of luck out there on this restart. Good luck.
All right, thank you, fellas.
Nathaniel Ames joining us up here from the number 15 spot where he has qualified his Tucson Sound Art number 28 Chevrolet. Meanwhile, the rest of this field working its way down in towards turn numbers 1 and 2 for the final time here before we go to green flag racing action. And again, should be a very entertaining race, I think, for everybody involved here in this one. And I think this could very well prove to be one of the more exciting races we have over the course of the season. The pace car can work into turn numbers 3 and 4. Spencer Ray going to be holding that race lead as Michael Kenner sits right beside him on that front row. Thank you for joining us for some brilliant Tuesday night racing action. We work our way up a turn number 4 in the hands of Spencer Ray. Enters the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We're underway. Off of turn number 4, Spencer Ray leads the first lap to green. While the rest of the field high does it off behind. It didn't last long, though. Yellow flag is out as we've got cars spinning around in the background. Jason Layton has gone around, and Hunter Thrower as well into the inside wall. You just saw Kyle Green shoot to the bottom lane as well. So several drivers collected in an early race incident. Spencer Ray going to be the one to take up the lead at the end of that melee. We'll get a look. We'll see what happened here. This is coming off of turn number 4. It looked like the 23 just got hooked, and that sent Hunter Thrower into the infield grass. He's just able to get himself sorted. We look back, see what happened to Jason Layton here, coming off of turn number 4. And it looks like he's been collected. Oh, he's gotten loose. And Wells just finished the job, and that sent Thrower into the inside wall in the big way. And I think Kyle Green here having some sort of issue of his own. He's going to take a hard left turn down to the infield and just pull it off to the inside. That might be a day done then for Kyle Green, who did take the tow. Back to pit road. Spencer Ray looked for pit road, opted against it. I'm not entirely surprised on that deal. It's very early on. I'd be very shocked if you decided to make that call. It's coming down into the lane. We got one more look on what happened to Jason Layton here, coming off of turn number 4. And he lost the back end fairly early. There was no contact on corner entry. He's just moved that one all by himself, and it was just wrong place, wrong time for Hunter Thrower, as well as Kyle Green, who went into the outside wall. You saw Purcell just able to push his way through up on that top shelf as well. Should be a quick yellow flag, though. Given that all cars are, or at least were, still on the lead lap. Kyle Green now sits one lap down. So we are under the yellow flag conditions for the first time here tonight at Newton, Iowa. Working turn number 4. Will we get the 1 to go signal this time by? We will not. We'll stay 2 laps left to green. So we're going to take a quick jump back. We'll be right back here with the OMSRL Xfinity Series, live on Green Flag TV from Newton, Iowa, in the Clash of the Corn Cobs 140. Lights are out aboard the Ireton safety car. We go to Green Flag Racing this time by. You're just joining us. You've missed a bit of a mess on the front straightaway on the opening lap coming out of turn number 4, where Jason Layton got sideways, collected up Kyle Green, Robert Peterson, as well as Hunter Thrower, who was sent into the infield grass. We've got all bar 3 drivers on the racetrack as of right now. You got 2 more working their way out, so we will have 22 of 23 still in this race. And 1 driver, that being Kyle Green, effectively down and out of competition for the night. Spencer Ray maintains his race lead after starting on pole. He'll work through turn numbers 3 and 4 alongside defending champion Michael Kenner, who put himself up to second place on his second qualifying lap tonight. Green flag back in the air. We are underway once again from the Iowa Speedway. Kenner going to clear for second, while behind Nathan Shiflett trying to get up and around Matt Sherry. This is with the number 5 spot we're looking at as it stands. We work our way through turn numbers 3 and 4 to the inside. Goes the 33 of Gage Teft. While Brandon Kluge going to try to continue to fight that one on the high side on the number 69. Teft to the bottom. Kluge still ripping that outside lane. The outside is strong here tonight from the Iowa Speedway. That 33 car doing a good job on working at the bottom and trying to make himself as wide as possible to keep Kluge from being able to mount a proper fence from behind. Still diving it in low, and now you see Nathan Shiflett working to the top side of Matt Cherry, going to try to make a run for number 5. Shiflett trying to punch his ticket into the top 5 for the first time all race long. We'll see our first change for position up in the top 5 all race long thus far, while up front, Zachary Kreiser trying to make something happen with Anthony Musatti. They're going to go side by side now and fight for third. Kreiser clears on the top step. He's going to go to the podium position, and he's got his teammate right behind. Trying to work the bottom, trying to keep Mussatti pinned to the outside. Look at the run that Shiflett is able to get from the outside of Anthony Mussatti. Shiflett going to push his way to fourth, but Mussatti trying to fight from the inside. Don't think he's going to be able to hang on, though, and he will not. Shiflett clears off of turn number 2. Teff fires one down to the inside of Matt Cherry, trying to make something happen. But again, look at the drive that Cherry's able to get off the exit here of turn number 4 to the front straightaway. Cherry continuing to pull clear. Teff going to fire one back down to the inside. I think this time will clear from Cherry. Here comes the 6'9" of Kluge. Kluge looking to make something happen while up front. Gage Teff closing in on Anthony Mussatti. And going to get around Mussatti as well for the 5th spot. A bit further down the order, Stefan Purcell made a look to get around Colton Wells. Didn't end up going his way, though. That allowed Morton to very briefly stick his nose to the inside of the number 57 car as Morton slides through. Holden McGill tracks through as well on the number 21. McGill going to hightail it back to the front straightaway. Stage break, not a stage break, but the stage conclusion will be at lap 55, going to 56. But remember, as it has been so far all season long, no yellow flag will be thrown for that caution, as it was in seasons past. Makes it a bit more interesting to see how drivers going to race around that point and how the strategies could shake up as well. Corey Paya works to the outside of Brett Vandehey. He'll look to make something down to 1 and 2 as Paya, his Toy Story Chevrolet, going to rip through the high lanes of 1 and 2 and pull clear. Further up the road, Jacob Noyes with a bit of right side damage on his number 3. So Noyes having some problems of some sort while Sean Kaiser will make a move, and that'll put Kaiser into 15th. Up the road, McGill once again looking for the inside of Stefan Purcell and his American Ethanol Chevy Camaro, and McGill works to the inside lane to the back straightaway. Can he make this one secure into 3 and 4? McGill's got a lot of pace under that car, but that outside lane could very reign supreme. It will not. Purcell backs out. McGill's into 12th. But you want to talk about a driver that is quickly advancing through this field. Look no further than Colby Wells. The driver formerly racing under the GI Racing colors in the OMSRL Xfinity Series, racing, I believe, independently thus far here in this one, is working to the outside. As it stands, he is currently 9th place. He has fought his way up 8 spots where he started way back in 17th. So Colby Wells on a tear at the moment. He's now looking to get around Brandon Kluge. Just up the road, and you see that way outside line that Wells is taking, but look at the overspeed that gives him down the front straightaway on Brandon Kluge as he is going to look to work his way down the inside and a turn numbers 1 and 2. But the outside line giveth, the outside taketh away. Kluge going to pull clear from Wells, and Kluge will hang on to P8. Further up the road, Teft and Shiflett once again going to battle as Shiflett will work to the outside of Gage Teft. Tries to hang one around the high side of 1 and 2, and the Irwin Tools 15 Supra going to be forced to, I think, tuck that one back in the line. Made an effort, but unfortunately it was not enough to be able to work his way up throughout this field. He'll continue to go to work, though. Still has the potential to chase after that number 33 car up the road. Behind contact, nudges Purcell on the racetrack, courtesy of Sean Kaiser. As Kaiser goes 2 for 2, takes over the spot for Jacob Noyes. Purcell loses out big time as he'll fall down. Hunter Thrower going to look to the inside of his Red Bull Chevy. Got caught up on that lap 1 incident as Thrower working his way through this pack. 16th spot as it stands for Thrower. Purcell working to fight that outside lane and make something, anything happen. The number 57, while Nathaniel Ames Ever optimistic remains tucked in line just behind. Kluge, Dingler, up the road. Kluge now working that outside line, trying to get up and around Ryan Dingler, but I think at this moment Dingler looking to maintain that run down on the bottom. You can see right there to the inside line, Holden McGill trying to work his way back to the top 10, and he's going to do just that. Holden McGill on a great charge. He's going to work his way to the 11th spot. Colton Wells still hangs on. The 49 of Bussati as well as Nathan Shiflett. Bussati working to the bottom, trying to get up and around Shiflett, as that's going to get a bit tight on turn number 2. Shiflett working the backstretch, Bussati working the bottom lane, and Shiflett, I think, will be forced to tuck back in line for the number 5 spot. Gage Taft has been trying to close up to Zachary Kreiser in the meantime, and he's now looking to put on the pressure for that number 3 spot here. The last little while, Taft has been gradually reeling in Kreiser here, and now all over the back bumper and right at the pounds of the Irwin Tool Supra, but it's always a big problem with Iowa. Passing is one thing, while catching is usually fairly trivial. Shiflett going to look to the outside of Colton Wells in the meantime, trying to establish a run on the top side. Wells with some rear end damage on his number 45. Tucks in for 7th. While Dingler, Peterson, and Moore remain side by side for spots in and around the last positions in the top 10. See Cherry working for that outside line as well, trying to send one 3 wide up the middle. Is he going to be able to get in there? He'll clear Shiflett. Can't get up to Wells, though. So Cherry will remain in a bit of no man's land as it stands, but now able to pull away from Shiflett, who's down on that inside lane. In the last little while, that outside has just become so prominent in the OMSRL Xfinity Series. We've seen this in both seasons past, where the OMSRL Xfinity Series has swung on out to Newton, Iowa. And it is ever prevalent here tonight. Holden McGill. Can he finally push his way into the top 10 for the first time all night long? Looks like the answer to that will be yay, as McGill clears the 15, working down to turn number 1. Behind, Kluge, Morton, Kaiser, all under a blanket, as Sean Kaiser coming off the wall a little bit. And as All-American Motorsports number 24, Bear Morton works to the outside of the Sargent Junket Camaro. Kluge up on the top. Will clear the both of them. Here goes Sean Kaiser with an aggressive lunge down the inside into turn numbers 1 and 2. As Kaiser looks to take the All-American Motorsports number 24 Chevy Camaro up to 11th. Sorry, make that 12th. Dead heat as they come off the wall to the start-finish stretch. While up front, Gage Taft side by side with Kreiser. He's going to pull clear from the top shelf. Taft set on the move, licked the stamp and sent it. Taft breaks into the podium, now +4 on the day for the number 33. Bussati, meanwhile, in hot pursuit, looks to the inside of Kreiser. Almost a bit of contact, working off of turn number 2 to the back straightaway. Bussati back down to the inside. The 39 of Kreiser up on top, looking to hang on as he's going to power through and just hang on to 4th at the line. Bit of a bump there from Wells to the 39. Going to move him out of the way. Bussati able to clear for 4th. Wells continues to work the bottom of the 39, off of turn number 4, and Kreischer continues to pull clear, working the top side. Wells diving back down low as we'll power back around this 0.8 of a mile short track. Matt Cherry looking for that top lane as well. 20 laps to go in stage number 1, coming to a conclusion at 55, going to 56. And we'll single file back out. Tell you what, though, some thrilling racing action that we're being delivered here at the Iowa Speedway as Kreischer, Wells, Cherry, Peterson, and Dingler all working nose to tail. Big problem is you can't really work together at a track like Iowa, so Wells will just fling one to the inside of Kreischer and hope it sticks. It will not. Kreischer pushes up from the bottom. So Matt Cherry thinking about a 3-wide move down the inside into turn numbers 3 and 4. Not going to go for it. Colby Wells remains committed to the outside line. He'll clear for 5th. Spencer Ray, meanwhile, is slowly becoming more and more under fire from Michael Kenner just behind. As we've now got a potential battle for the race lead on our hands. Kenner working right behind the 6. Tries to set up a momentum run for the outside lane. Is that going to work out? It will not. He was too deep. Had to back out just barely to avoid hitting the outside wall. All the while, this fierce dogfight for 7th on back rages on. 3 of these 4 drivers are Badger Racing teammates, Dingler, Peterson, and McGill. Showing no qualms about going against one another here tonight. McGill continues his charge, +9 on the day, but he is still not matched. Colby Wells, who is now up 12. From here initially started tonight, but he's going to go way up the track and just let Matt Cherry in line. Kenner, meanwhile, has gotten around Spencer Ray. Ray looks back to the bottom. And Spencer Ray tries to hang on for the race lead. Michael Kenner still working the top shelf. Gonna look to pull around and get clear. Drag race down the back straightaway. Kenner on top, Ray on the bottom. And I think just Michael Kenner gonna be able to pull clear of the number 6. This is how it all started when Michael Kenner found the inside of Spencer Ray. He licked the stamp, sent one down the inside, and then Spencer Ray with a beautiful crossover attempt. It's just a shame it was all for naught. Spencer Ray, though, looking to get back to the back bumper. He's not done fighting this one out yet, folks, as the number 6. Now he is going to look to set up a run for the outside. Apex Action Supra with the run, closes in by about a 10th by the time they get to start finish. He's going to look for the inside, sends one to the inside as well. Spencer Ray trying to get around Kenner, can't do so. Meanwhile, Nathaniel Ames will take it to pit road in this Tucson Sound Art Chevrolet. So Ames in on what I believe would be an unscheduled pit stop. So we check in on this fight here between Peterson and Shiflett as well, side by side. For number 12, perhaps this is a scheduled pit stop as Kreiser and Kluge both now into pit road. And Corey Pye, as well as into the lane. So a lot of cars coming in fairly early at the Iowa Speedway. Still leaves, though, all these battles up on the racetrack. Nathaniel Ames now starting to get involved. Now Ames is 2 laps down. Doesn't have a whole lot to say in how this fight really goes down. As whoa, Ames getting loose on corner entry. He's going to go to the inside and just be able to recover his machine. Take a look a bit further back to the field. Thrower, Noyes, Purcell, Brett Vandehey. All in the battle pack as well, just for 14th overall. Noyes going to look to the outside to get around Thrower. Noyes going to pull clear from the top shelf, knocking Thrower down to the 15th, but Hunter Thrower going to look to battle back, takes that one to the inside. That'll open up the door for an attack from Stefan Purcell to try to fight one down to the inside of 1 and 2. Colby Wells and Grant Peterson in the meantime looking to looking to fight together as we'll take 4 laps left to go in stage number 1. Nathan Shiflett will also come to pit road. Up front, Kenner continuing to run away with the race lead here. Spencer Ray trying everything to close him down, but Kenner is looking untouchable up at the front of this field. Wells will work to the top side of Peterson still. They've been side by side for about 2-3 laps now. And can Peterson clear here for 7th? He just is able to. Tucks in front of Colby Wells as Wells looking to fight back. Will he go for Osen into 3 and 4? He'll try for it. But open up the door now for Ryan Dingler to try to attack. He's not able to, though, as Ames will fight back from the top side. Nathaniel Ames getting in the way. Colby Wells will let them both through as they split in 3 wide. Hunter Thrower, meanwhile, comes down to pit road. We got a fierce fight on our hands here for 4th. While Michael Kenner will take the final lap. Couple more corners to go. Michael Kenner will be your stage 1 winner here tonight. Takes that one away from the field behind, while it'll be Olin McGill to hang on against Matt Cherry and co. for the number 4 spot. So at the line, it was Kenner, Ray, Musati, McGill, Cherry, Teff, Peterson, Dingler, Wells, and Kaiser for the stage spots. Now these drivers have to try to set themselves up for the last portion of this race. Spencer Ray immediately hits pit road. Now the big question is, he's obviously going for an undercut here on Michael Kenner. Is Kenner going to try to respond, to capitalize on that? Or is he going to go on a strategy of his own? He's going to go with his own as he is showing no signs of coming to pit road. Same story for a large chunk of this field, although Anthony Musati will find his way to pit road at the number 49. With his usual tech problems to boot. Jacob Noyes, Anthony Musati also both into the lane. Michael Kenner will pit from the race lead. And Kobe Wells will fire in right behind. So a huge, broad spread of pit strategies here then, right after the conclusion of stage 1. Will McGill look to capitalize? He will not. He will continue to stay out and log laps. Grant Peterson and Ryan Dingler will not stay out on the racetrack any longer. They'll pit on lap 61. Barrett Morton smoking it on pit entry right behind. And I'd be shocked if that was not a pit entry violation. On the speed with how hot that car came flying into pit road. Morton's into his box. Here comes Gage Teft looking right behind. So Teft is in. Dingler and Morton are on their way out. That's almost all of Badger Racing in now. Holden McGill continuing to stay out, though, as is Matt Cherry. So they are looking to be on the same call themselves, it looks like. They currently sit now 1-2. Brett Vandehey and Stephen Purcell in the meantime looking to work on the outside lane as well. Nathan Shivlet looking to recover lost time as a result of that pit stop. He sits as it stands 1 lap down. Gage Teft will leave pit road, tucked in right. Oh, look out! He's going to almost get into Hunter Thrower as Purcell will take it into the lane. I was going to say, Teft comes out behind Morton and alongside Hunter Thrower. Teft will clear the 83 and now tries to chase out of the 57, or sorry, the 9, while Ryan Dingler just scraped the outside wall on the exit of 2. Brett Vandehey comes to pit road. McGill, Cherry, Peterson, still the 3 drivers that have not come down to pit road. They're looking to go long on their set of stops in this one. Maybe trying to push to halfway. I think a lot of the field might be on a potential 2-stopper. While McGill and Cherry Peterson all trying to go on just 1 stop around that halfway mark. Teft looking to work his way up and around Barrett Morton as the 33 going to try to lunge for one around the outside of the number 9. Teft going to make a beautiful move. He'll clear down the back straightaway. Matt Cherry comes to pit road. So Cherry is in. One of the last 2 racers we're looking for. Still waiting, though, on Grant Peterson. Sorry, Robert Peterson. As well as Holden McGill. McGill is into the lane. Yes, oh, he's going to smoke the tires on the entry. Robert Peterson will now take over the race lead. Expecting him to stop within the next 5. Critically, Spencer Ray has gotten in front of Michael Kenner. Kenner way down the field. He had been sitting in his box for a long time. So Kenner, having smoked his entry, was caught speeding. now find himself running way in the back of the field, 1 lap down, 2 laps down. How the mighty have fallen as another devastating error from Michael Kenner effectively takes him out of contention. Right behind Robert Peterson is a charging Musati, Dingler, and Teft, all trying to fight their way through to get back onto the lead lap. It's Gage Teft. Been looking good so far, and he's going to continue to work his way back up. Now let's try to chase after the Titans of Dingler and Musati. Drivers that have been in this league for many a season. Robert Peterson will finally hit pit road. Musati looking the inside of Brandon Clues, trying to go for a position number 5. Clues going to be dropping back throughout this field as Dingler and Teft continue to scrap amongst themselves. Dingler on the bottom, Teft going to be way on the outside. And they're going to get themselves sorted. So with everything pretty much organized and stands up the course of this field here, how about we take a little rundown of what your field looks like throughout the course of this running of the Clash of the Corn Cobs 140. Spencer Ray leads the way after this first round of pit stop cycles. He is 6.7 seconds clear of Colby Wells, who is looking to try to close him on in. Zachary Kreischer rounds out the podium as it stands. He is in a little fight with Grant Peterson for the number 4 spot. Anthony Musati is back in 5th. He is hotly embroiled in a contestant battle with Dingler and Teft for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Bear Morton brings it up in the 8th position along with Brandon Cluj in 10th. Sean Kaiser rounding out your top 10 field here. Bolton McGill is back in the number 11 spot, and he's also headed up a big train of cars. That involves Hunter Thrower, Nathan Schiffel, and Matt Cherry, all battling for the first spot outside of the top 10. Jacob Noy is going to be down to the 15th spot with Robert Peterson way back in 16th. Stefan Purcell is fighting that out with Nathaniel Ames as it stands for 17th. They are the 2 drivers fighting for the Lucky Dog spot. Brett Vandehey in the mix as well in 18th. Nathaniel Ames, it's going to be Corey Paya down in the number 20 position with Michael Kenner, of course, way down this field as well. Oh, trouble! Big trouble at that. Sean Kaiser getting turned around, and the caution flag going to come out. So yellow flag comes out on lap number 78. As that was a big, clumsy move there, I think, that caused that all to kick off. Spencer Ray going to take up the race lead. All of a sudden, that 6-7 second gap completely obliterated. A big question, who opts to come down to pit road now at this point in time? Almost expecting to see everybody that pitted about 20 laps ago to come down to the lane, and there it is. Spencer Ray's in, as is Wells, Peterson, Kreischer, Musati, and Moore. Into their pit box goes Colby Wells. As the rest of the field files its way back down and around. That battle for the last podium position all of a sudden became very, very, the last Lucky Dog spot became very, very important. And I do believe it was Purcell who won it out in that battle for the Lucky Dog. 4 tires and fuel, it's looking like will be the call all throughout this field. Spencer Ray, first in, first out. Let's take a look on what just happened here, coming on down in towards turn number turn number 1. Sean Kaiser looks for the inside. You see the 37 of Corey Paya down on the bottom. He's going to clip the grass there, and that just sends the 24 around. And you see the 69 sliding that as well. And there was Brandon Kluge that brought out officially the first yellow flag here of the evening. Sorry, the second yellow flag here of the evening, but after, of course, he was tipped by the 37. There you see the first tip check and then right up into the 69. And whoa, McGill just barely able to avoid that whole mess. Going to ride on board with Paya here. Going to look with the 37 car, see how this went from his perspective. I think he just kind of clicked the apron and wasn't sure where to go with it. Meanwhile, a little further behind, Holden McGill having to really scramble to avoid this one. Putting in the clutch as well. He was fuel saving, and then all this goes on in front of him. Is Yo just able to get around it. Well, caution flag is out for the second time tonight. We'll take a step back. You're watching the Clash of the Corn Cobs 140 from the Iowa Speedway. Coming to the conclusion of our second caution of the night, just past halfway, lap 82 of 140. Will this field be able to now get itself sorted for the long haul here, or will we be seeing ourselves with a potential issue further on down the line? Green flag is back in the air. We are underway once again from the Iowa Speedway. Robert Peterson did not stop under that last caution period. He stopped 6 laps prior to the yellow flag coming out. He now holds the race lead, coming on down in towards turn numbers 1 and 2. Spencer Ray looking for the bottom. Couple of drivers sliding down to the background, and we do have a yellow flag out on the speedway once again as looks like Nathaniel Ames has found himself going sideways at the tail end. And that puts us under our next yellow flag here of the evening. We'll take a look and what happens to Nathaniel Ames coming out of turn number 4. Oh, he's just lost the back end and spins it around, and that's what brings out our next yellow flag. But there was another incident further up the road. We'll ride on board with Kluge here. We'll go for the restart. So just kind of watch on here because he takes a hefty whack out of turn 4. just snapped on him, and he took a tank to the outside wall, but luckily saved by the yellow flag. He'll be able to get himself back sorted and get rolling once again. But this is yellow flag number 3 of the night. Cautions breed cautions. It is an ever true statement, and one that continues to ring true here tonight in this one. As things are continuing to look a bit stable here as the race goes along, we'll see if we can't get in touch with a few of the drivers here on the yellow flag. We'll get an eye on how things are looking overall, and I think now would be a good time. We can bring up the number 45, the driver that's made up the most balls overall, 14 on the day. Colby, this is Noel Ramble up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Well, you're running that 45 car as it stands, and as I understand it, under RD Racing design colors today, not under TI Racing for the OMSRL Xfinity Series here this current season. But hey, it's good to see you back regardless. We've been seeing you very consistent for the last few weeks. How's it been so far for you?
Sir, it's been great. Glad to be back with RD Designs, get some new colors on the paint scheme this year, and proud to support them. It's been fun so far. I love this racetrack, and I was honestly surprised how quickly I was able to work my way up, but as long as we turn it and go in the right way, we'll catch a dub today.
You're up 14, so it's looking strong so far, and obviously still not quite sure if you're going to be running part-time or full-time this season. What's your goal overall, though, here in Season 5?
I'll take another week off here next week because I'll be on vacation, but after that I'll be full-time, so I'm trying to go run after that championship, get my second championship. I've got a lot of ground to make up, and hopefully we'll just keep winning and get up to the top.
Well, you took it in Season 3. We'll see if you can't take it here in Season 5 as well. What do you think you're going to have to do to see if you can get your way through to the end? Will we get another caution potentially to help you out?
We'll definitely get a caution. I'm a little worried about the tire situation. Only have one set with 54 laps left, and you know, while that's a lot, if we keep getting these cautions, Robert's in a great spot. So Spencer's going to be really hard to beat, and Robert on his strategy is going to be hard to beat as well. So we'll just keep going with the flow and see what we can do.
Well, we'll wish you the best of luck out there. You're restarting third on the inside, so best of luck to you then as we'll go set to go racing once again on lap number 90.
Thanks, sir.
Scobie Wells joining us up here in the broadcast booth, of course, from the RD Designs Racing camp. He is a driver we're used to seeing in TI Racing colors, was running the Asheville Rooftop Bar Tours Chevrolet all throughout last season, but opted to stick around when pretty much all of TI Racing opted to pull out, which is why we don't see drivers like Nate Brody back in this field. And even Logan Hamilton has been noticeably absent. He was here at Daytona, but Hamilton did not make an appearance at at Michigan last week, and he didn't make an appearance at Iowa tonight. So Hamilton only running the part-time schedule tonight, but Colby Wells looking to get himself with a championship win. He did take it in season number 3, but it was under controversial circumstances, and not by any of Wells' fault by any stretch of the means. He ran a fantastic season all season long, except arguably Bristol when he ran Musati into the outside wall for the win at the Bristol Motor Speedway. But the big story out of season 3 was the fact that Michael Kenner on track took the championship, but was actually penalized after the fact for an incident in that race, and he was stripped of that championship as a result, giving it by default to second place runner Colby Wells. Now that said, Kenner did manage to take the championship and hold it in season number 4, and he'll be looking to see if he can't go for a repeat here in this one, while Wells looks to take that crown on pace alone, not having to rely on a penalty this time. We'll work through turn number 4, back to the front straightaway. Robert Peterson going to jump on the loud pedal once again. We find ourselves back underway. Coming to 50 laps go this next time by. Spencer Ray working back to the bottom. Peterson on the top shelf. It is still so tight between these two drivers as Robert Peterson looks to make something around the outside lane. Colby Wells and Spencer Ray also going to be in the mix. We hightail it down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. 49 laps to go this time by at the line. And Spencer Ray looking very secure with the race lead. Colby Wells down in second, trying to see if he can't make that look for the win. Wells looking to the inside, will potentially get her third different leader of the night as Spencer Ray continues to fight the high side. Colby Wells, though, working the bottom, not showing too much concern when it comes to tire preservation at the moment. He's going to look to the top now to establish a run on Spencer Ray. So Colby Wells on a charge at the moment in his number 45, looking to the inside. But Ray in his apex action, corn-laced Supra. Going to continue with that power move up on the top. Further down the field, this is a fight for spots in and around the top 10. Dingler, Morton, Kreiser, Cherry, Thrower, Kenner, all under a blanket. Michael Kenner was 2 laps down. Just 2 cautions to go. He's now worked his way back out onto the lead lap. Kenner can now start to climb back through this field slowly but surely. Try to pick off drivers one by one. This race still not over for that 98. Thrower continues to work to the bottom. Michael Kenner, Barrett Morton on the outside. Now Kenner looking to maybe make it 3 wide. He'll opt against it, but Michael Kenner continues to work on to that top lane of the racetrack. Barrett Morton staying right there with the 83. They're both looking to pinch Hunter Thrower down to the inside, make sure that he can't get any kind of momentum run. Kenner's going to be up to 11th. As Morton, a big sideways moment through turn numbers 3 and 4. Get a look back and hang on, as right there's the contact. Almost sends Morton around. Further up the road, Gage Taft looking to fight his way back through this field. Musati and McGill side by side in front of him. They're going to single it out. Taft falls to P7. Up the road, Spencer Ray and Ryan Dingler, Colby Wells looking to fight it out with one another once again. They have been slowly building up a gap from Grant Peterson. But Colby Wells has not been able to properly go on the offensive here against Spencer Ray since the drop of this green flag. He's made a couple of looks. Hasn't been able to make anything concrete, though. But look at how much he's trying to set something up, anything up, from the outside line. He's going to get a huge run down the front straightaway. Cuts to the inside. Lunges forward down to turn number 1. Wells trying to track a bit clear. Here comes Spencer Ray looking to fight the top. Side by side once again for the race lead with 40 to go down the backstretch. Wells still working the bottom. Ray's up on the top. And for all of Colby Wells' attempts, Spencer Ray still holds firm. Tell you what, Ray's defensive game has been on point tonight for that race lead. Colby Wells, though, not going to let this one slow him down. He's going to try to wind up another punch down the front stretch. further towards the mid-pack, you can see just how single-filed out this race has got, and it hasn't really been much to note over the course of the evening. This is really kind of showing, though, just how even the match all of these drivers are, as they're all working to try to find ways to get around one another. But Colby Wells still looking to set something up, anything up to get around Spencer Ray. Look again at the run that he gets down the front stretch off of turn number 4. Down the bottom, but Ray again working the top lane, and Wells just can't find the speed from the bottom. All night long, that outside lane has been the place to be if you want to go on offense or on defense. Wells is able to get a run on the top shelf, but he's never able to follow through. I think he's going to have to try something else, because it's clear that if he tries to go for the top to bottom like that, it's not going to work. Not unless Spencer Ray really falls off on tire day. Further behind, Dingler trying to make a move on Zachary Kreischer. Kreischer up to the outside wall, and Michael Kenner sits right behind. Now back up to the top 10. And Dingler just able to tuck in line, allow Michael Kenner to stick his nose up to the inside. 3 wide. Coming through turn number 3 and 4. Dingler going to try to find a hole up the middle. Kreischer clears the both of them on the top. I think that might be a botched offensive there for Michael Kenner down to the inside, unless he can really clear Dingler here off of 2. Wells again setting up a move down into turn number 3. But Ray again challenges from the outside and maintains his run up in the lead. Just behind, Musati and Peterson. Exchanging hands for 4th. Boy, oh boy, these guys do not know when to take a break. They're going to Matt Cherry, also side by side for 12th. And Hunter Thrower gonna get in the way. Trying to give a little nudge to the Red Bull Chevrolet, trying to tell him, you gotta go. We're in a fight here. Get moving. Can't stick around. Sean Kaiser very much in the mix back here as well in this little grouping. Hunter Thrower, I do think, is slowing this pack up here, because they have been trying to find some way to get through, any way to get through, but they're just not able to do so. Cherry falls back as Sean Kaiser, I should say, will try to open up a door on the inside. Less than 30 laps left to go. Battle very much on for the number 11 spot. Cherry gonna run over Hunter Thrower in the middle of turn numbers 1 and 2. That got a bit hectic there for a little bit, but oh, and there we go! Thrower gets dumped. Caution is out for the 4th time of the night. Thrower's going to get himself back working. Spencer Ray survives another offensive for the race lead. Happened down in the turn number 1. Matt Cherry just gets on the binders and tips the back of the 83. Spins him around, and that's a heavy shot to the outside wall. Be able to ride on board with Cherry here. Right behind this whole mess. Just the smallest of nudges, but it's still enough. has Sean Kaiser here managed to avoid the outside wall. He got a huge run coming up on this whole mess. And, a little scrape with the outside wall. Thought maybe he got around that. He did not. Everybody, meanwhile, once again down to pit road for service. As drivers once again work their way back onto the racetrack, Spencer Ray, Colby Wells will sit 1-2 still, while the rest of your field files out behind. Caution is once again out for what is now yellow flag number 4 of the afternoon. The tensions continue to mount as we get closer and closer to the end of our race in Newton, Iowa. We'll be back in a few moments with the restart.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Lights just go out aboard the iRacing safety car. We'll be green flag racing this time by. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Green Flag TV. Whether you happen to be a returning viewer or new, you make sure to tune in every single week. There will be several shows coming on up. And of course, later on in the week in this one, we are going to be going back racing for the Speed Cup Series as we have taken them on now under our wing for the roster. They'll be racing at the Richmond Raceway. And then, of course, we'll be out as well with the TNGG IL Truck Series at going to be the Bluegrass 100 at the Kentucky Speedway 1 week from now. Got 7 more series coming up, including the High Tide Racing League MF Racer Designs Cup Series, the Pro Kart Challenge Road Challenge Series, and many, many more, all coming up soon here throughout the August and September months. Green flag going to be coming out in the air this time by, with just over 20 laps to go. Working back to turn 1. It's all the fight going on in the midfield. Look out, noise going around in the background. Caution's out again for a single car spin. Noise loops it, recovers. That's caution number 5. Well, that wasn't the way we wanted to see that restart go down as Jacob Noyes just goes around in the background. We'll ride on board. Just loops it all by himself, spins it around. Does a good job, though, recovering the car. So all things considered, I'd call that a good save from Noyes. Nobody coming on down to pit road this time by. Well, it has been an event, to say the least. This has been, it hasn't really ever settled down, has it? As we see Corey Paya taking a lucky dog free pass up on the outside line. Well, we will do the tried and trusted fashion of burning time behind the safety car period, as we'll look to some of the other drivers to give us their insights on how this race has gone along so far. And I think this time up, we'll see if we can't get in touch with the Burnt Bacon Racing crew. Zach Kreischer, the number 39, joins us up here now. Zach, this is Noel Remple. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, nothing much. Just killing a bit of time here, and, well, you looked like you weren't doing too much down there behind the safety car. How's it going out there running in eighth?
It's been a good night. I can't complain. I just want to bring all the 4 tires home and try to get the top 10 tonight.
So what at this point do you reckon the goal would be? Because you've been kind of right where all the fierce battling's been up and down all throughout the course of this race. You haven't really had a chance to take a breather thus far.
No, not really. It's just kind of one of those races where I feel like lane choice is big on the restart. I definitely feel like the inside's better on the initial go, but then the outside is the way to go, especially off of 4 to kind of keep that guy from passing you. So we'll see what happens here.
Should be no doubt an interesting restart, as will be less than 20 laps to go. I believe it'll be 16 if we're true to green as of right now. Obviously, we look forward to the season as a whole. Next week we swing out to Vegas. It's back to the cookie cutters. Do you prefer those tracks more, or do you prefer where it gets a bit more down and dirty like at the short tracks?
I like down and dirty. I like to get up and be able to rub some fenders. Denny Hamlin, some people out there. So hopefully we can keep it clean here, but have a good ending.
Hopefully it'll be a good ending indeed, and hopefully we'll be talking to you maybe on the podium, if not tonight, then at a point later on throughout the course of the season. For now, though, a good job on keeping that top 10 so far and keeping that car clean. But wish you the best of luck.
At 10-4, thanks.
Zachary Kreischer running out of the Burnt Bacon Motorsports camp in his number 39 car. Teammates with Nathan Shiflett over the course of the afternoon. Spencer Ray elects for the top line on the restart. Musati to the bottom. Did manage to take it over from Colby Wells, who now runs third. So Wells on the back foot on this restart is now. You've got 3 different teams. You've got All-American Motorsports, Badger Racing as well as RD Designs Racing down for the top 2 rows. And all of this with 16 laps to go when we go back to green flag racing. It's going to get wild. Something tells me we're not done wrecking yet. The iRacing pace car will take us into turn numbers 3 and 4. Leave it in the hands of Spencer Ray. Green flag is back in the air. Wells with an immediate launch to the inside. Going to push for 3 wide down the front straightaway through the tri-oval down to turn number 1. He'll back out from the bottom, though, as Grant Peterson bobbles on the top. Wells secures third off of turn number 2. Wells immediately flings it back to the bottom. Anthony Visati not looking to waste any time whatsoever on the restart here. But as always, it is so tough to make a move down to the inside. How about Michael Kenner? Throwing his hat back into the ring. He's pushed his way back to a top 5 after being penalized early on pit road. And at this point, Kenner very much is still in the shot for at least a podium finish. He'll lunge for the bottom of 3 and 4. Looks to take one away from Colby Wells. He'll track up out of turn number 4. Wells maintains his run up on the top side. McGill set the fastest lap that last time with a 23.87. While Kenner, whoa, look out! Trouble in the background as Ryan Dingler got muscled up way towards the outside wall. We're 3, almost 4 wide. Down the back straightaway and in towards turn number 1. Turn number 3 and 4. We were 4 wide for a brief moment with Purcell caught in the middle. It is pandemonium at the back of the field. How in the world did this happen? As this was all coming around in towards turn number 3 down the back straightaway. We'll see if we can't get a better look at that one as that all kicked off in a hurry here. I believe Dingler just got muscled up and out of line potentially. That's what caused that massive stack up deeper in the field. Up the road, Burnt Bacon Motorsports trying to team up on Barrett Morton. Chrysler trying to punch a door open for Nathan Shiflett while Corey Paya has gone off the racetrack. He has stopped it at the bottom of the tri-oval here on the front straightaway. No caution though. We'll try to keep it green. Here come the race leaders. Corey Paya keeps it slow on the bottom. No yellow flag yet. Less than 10 to go. And we'll keep it green. I like it. Don't throw yellow if you don't have to. Here's what happened to Corey Pye coming off of turn number 4. Clips the wall by himself. That sends him down into the infield grass. I guess he thought there might have been a yellow flag once the field came up on him, but no dice. Ray continues to power around that top line. From behind, Shiflett continues to try to just get around Barrett Morton. Spencer Ray continues to hang on to the race lead, coming to 5 laps to go. Musadi having some sort of fierce prod of the inside and now trying to make an attack on Spencer Ray. 5 laps to go now. So much over the course of season 4. Spencer Ray has found himself, had found himself with some just detrimental circumstances. Time and time again, you'll be taken out. The win was ever elusive, and now looking at taking it just his 3rd start in season number 5. Fight still rages on in the midfield. While looking to the inside is Brett Vandehey. He's trying to go for a top 10 finish. But Shiflett's got a thing or two to say about that one, as does Ryan Dingler, as does Sean Kaiser. 3 laps to go. We work down the turn numbers 1 and 2. Van de Hey down on the bottom. He'll track up, slot in between Shiflett and Dingler. Dingler cuts to the bottom. Colby Wells, meanwhile, now went from fighting for a race win to just trying to hang on to a top 5, with Grant Peterson looking to make a lunge to the bottom. Trouble for Randy Kluge. Caution is out! With a lap and a half to go, the yellow flag will fly, and that puts us to overtime. Say it with me now. Green, white, checkered finish. Coming on up at Iowa. And Spencer Ray is going to be screaming right now. 0.4 of a second lead, no competition. Had it won, and now he's got to survive for an extra 2 laps he did not account for. Ray has been very strong, though, on restarts. I have faith he can make this happen. Kluge side by side with Nathaniel Ames coming down to the front straightaway. Just a little bit of a hip check. Sends the 69 around. Loops the car. He'll spin to the inside and get it back rolling. Oh boy. Well, that I believe will put Corey Paya. It would have put Corey Paya back onto the lead lap had he not gone down to pit road with his own little wreck. But now Paya's going to be down and out of the fight. So, let's restack. Spencer Ray leads the way. He has led the most laps by far of anybody so far. Anthony Musatti runs in second. McGill, plus 13 on the day, is up to third. Michael Kenner sits fourth. Wells fifth. And Grant Peterson down in sixth. So whenever this race gets back underway, we will have 2 laps of racing left to go. It's all of a sudden anybody's game. But this is painting an all too familiar story to Season 4 and Spencer Ray. Time and time again, once again, he had found himself in the lead. And it was usually a mistimed caution or some sort of pit mistake that would see Spencer Ray fall out of contention for the win. Will this happen here tonight? He has been in almost complete control the entire race since Michael Kenner botched his first pit stop under green flag conditions right around the halfway mark. Oh boy. Want to once again give a shout out to everybody watching on Green Flag TV here tonight. This has been an absolutely incredible show. We are, of course, thrilled that you're able to hear and experience it right alongside with us. I believe we have just taken the 2 to go signal. Hedge your bets. Spencer Ray has been good on getting good launches off the lines, but we've seen some desperate lunges already in battles earlier tonight. Before this point, can he hang on for the restart? Will we see a different driver take it? Or do we reset for attempt 2? I think at this point, all 3 are equally viable. It's all going to depend, though, on how far ahead Spencer Ray is down to turn 1. If he can get himself clear by turn 1 and down to the bottom, I think so long as he's clear by about 0.3 of a second, he should be good by the time they get to the white flag. But that is a huge if at a track like Iowa. Lights are out. 1 lap left to go before we get set for green-white check and attempt number 1. Make it to the white flag. Whatever happens, happens. If we wreck before the white flag and the caution comes out, we'll reset, try again. And to think Dylan Coyle had other places to be tonight than right here with this. Spencer Ray going to work through turn numbers 3 and 4. He has chosen the bottom for the restart, taking the defensive line, does not want to take the chance that Musati can get to the bottom. Can Musati anticipate the restart? To the Geiger restart zone, 2 laps to go, we're back underway. Ray's already clear by 3. McGill side by side with Musati down at 1 and 2. Working the back straightaway with a lap and a half left to go. Side by side, down to turn numbers 3 and 4. Still a drag race with the number 2 spot. We come off of turn number 4. Spencer Ray able to take the white flag. This race is official. They continue to scrap for second and third. Kenner squeaks through for fourth around Colby Wells. Drivers scrape and bang the outside wall while Spencer Ray works through turn numbers 3 and 4. We crash big time in turn number 4, but off the final corner, Spencer Ray takes his first win of season number 5. In the Clash of the Corn Cobs 150, we crash again across start-finish. Wells spins it round through turn numbers 1 and 2. We wrecked it though on the back straightaway. Matt Cherry got involved, as did Sean Kaiser. They wrecked together with Jacob Noyes as Noyes got into Kaiser. And a heavy shot for both drivers as they crashed big time coming to the line. Spencer Ray, meanwhile, though, takes a hard-earned race win and will burn it down in front of the stands in Newton, Iowa. And Spencer Ray continues to celebrate. Let's take a rundown of what your official post-race results looked like after that absolute barn burner at the Iowa Speedway. Spencer Ray taking the race win over Holden McGill with Michael Kenner, bringing it up back in third. Anthony Musati getting to be in the number 4 spot with Colby Wells in 5th. Grant Peterson was in 6th with Robert Peterson at 7th. Gage Teff will bring it up in 8th. Zach Kreiser at 9th, and Bear Morton rounds out the top 10. Nathan Shivler going to be down to the 11th with Brett Vandehey in 12th. Ryan Dingler was in 13th with Jacob Noyes in 14th. Hunter Thoreau was in 15th with Sam Purcell in 16th. And Van der Leems was 17th. Brandon Kluge was in 18th. Jason Layton and Matt Cherry will be in 19th and 20th. Sean Kai's the first car not to finish this race after having to take a tow. He will finish this race, unfortunately for him. 1 lap down. Corey Pye 10 down, and Kyle Green retiring after a lap 1 incident in the early goings here tonight from the Iowa Speedway. Well, we'll get a chance to talk to all of your drivers here in this one after that absolutely thrilling drive that we just saw Spencer Ray put down at the end of the day. We'll see if we can get a hold of him eventually. We'll, I guess, move things on down first to the likes here of Holden McGill. We'll get a hold of him in just a second here as he took himself and handled himself very nicely throughout the entire middle portion there of that race. We'll be able to get a chat here with your number 2 finishers. We try to see if we can't track down Spencer Ray and get a hold of your race winner. But for now, Holden McGill joins us up here at the broadcast booth, your runner-up tonight. And Holden, you gave it everything to get around Musati. You didn't manage to get around him, but Kenner was hunting you down for that number 2 spot.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I'm not really sure where to go with that, Nolan.
Well, obviously, you had yourself for the big fight there throughout the course of this race, and you had to fight your way from the back of this one as you qualify way down, and I believe it was about 16th, 17th, which brings me to ask, what happened in qualifying, man?
It'd be like that sometimes, I guess.
Apparently so. We set ourselves up for Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're obviously going to get a big points haul out of this. How do you think you'll set yourself up for the gambling capital of the world in Nevada?
I think it sets up pretty good. I've been as consistent as I can these first 3 weeks, so I feel like it's built me up a bit of a cushion, but I look forward to Vegas. I feel like it's a pretty good track, and I think I can keep on building on it.
Well, we wish you the best of luck then when we get set to go racing once again at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thanks for taking the time to join us here tonight. Congratulations on the second place.
Thanks, man. We'll catch you later.
Solder McGill driving the number 21 Badger Racing machine. He takes it in second place. We have managed to track down where race winner Spencer Ray is on the night. We'll see if we can get a hold now of Spencer Ray, your race winner of the night. And it is usually a tale of woes for Spencer Ray when it comes to chasing that victory, but not so tonight as Spencer, you finally take victory in just your third start of season number 5.
Yep. I'm just glad that the shenanigans at the end of the race didn't collect me this time.
I was going to say, that's usually how these races go. You have a commanding lead, and then something happens late in the race, and all of a sudden you're taken out of the game. How are you able to weather the storm, though, and hang on for the race win and a green-white checkered finish?
By strategically placing the car of Anthony Musatti in front of the car that I didn't want behind me.
I mean, hey, it worked out for you. I mean, it was very effective. Let's put it that way, as Musatti and McGill ended up amongst themselves. And, hey, the car behind you didn't even end up on the podium. So there you go. It works out all in your favor. Las Vegas is up 1 week from now. What do you think you can go out to try to maintain this momentum here?
Just try to win again, I guess.
It'll be an attempt at a back-to-back, and we'll wish you the best of luck, obviously, when we go racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway 1 week from now, Spencer. Well, it's always a pleasure to be able to get the chance to talk to you here whenever we get the opportunity. Hopefully, it's the first of many here in 2023 for season number 2.
Sure.
Spencer Ray joining us up here from the number 1 spot on the podium. We'll see if we can't move things on down. We'll jump back down to the opposite end of the podium where Michael Kenner sitting in third at the end of a race here tonight. And for Michael Kenner, again, it was a race that he had to fight up and down throughout the course of this field, and he is able to pip Anthony Musatti right on the last lap coming out of the final corner. Michael, walk us through what those last 2 laps looked like for you.
I mean, I didn't think I had a shot at the win, and obviously I didn't there at the end, but I just wanted to try and get the best finish I could there. Nothing I could really do. Is so hard to pass out there to get past Holden, but Musatti, I was gonna pull a slider on him, and then he ended up hitting the wall anyways, so it all worked out for me there, I guess, and I got P3.
It certainly all worked out well for you. It almost didn't, though, when you, of course, had yourself finding with a pit road penalty in that first round of green flag stops. Thought you might be out of it when you ended up 2 laps down the result. You fought through the field, though, with some lucky cautions. That put you back onto the lead lap, and now back onto the podium as well. Can I walk through what the race as a whole was like, having to work your way back from 0 to hero?
When I spent on pit road, it was probably the most frustrated I've been in a while. And I figured at that point there's probably 0 shot that I win the race. And then from there, I was just trying to keep the car clean and pick off everyone. I was thinking I was gonna have to fight someone for a lucky dog, but luckily I got the caution. And I just took the wave and then got the caution right away. And then from there, I just had to pass people, which in the back half of the field wasn't the hardest thing to do. So they were all killing their stuff, and I was just taking it easy. But once you got up in the like 15th on, it was pretty tough. Yeah, I saved my stuff. It seemed like I was probably the best one out there tonight, saving tires, and then got most of them on the longer parts of the runs.
We swing to Las Vegas Motor Speedway 1 week from now. Last time we were out there in season number 4, you found yourself up in the air, upside down, with no tires on the ground. What do you think you'll have to do next week to make sure that this time you can not only take a victory there, but keep all 4 wheels on the road surface?
I'm not sure. Vegas isn't one of my stronger tracks, but as long as I'm not flipping in the infield this time, it'll be one up from last season.
Well, fingers crossed. It can't get much worse than it did from last season. I'm sure you'll be fine this time around. I wish you the best of luck there in Nevada. For now, though, congratulations on a 3rd place finish. Hard-earned.
Yeah, thank you.
Michael Canada joining us up here from third place on the podium, and that is about going to do it then for our podium finishes here tonight. And what a race it was overall throughout the course here at the Iowa Speedway, and it's been, as always, an absolute phenomenal race. We'll swing on out 1 week from now to obviously the gambling capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll play host to race number 4 of the OMSRL Xfinity Series to kick off the month of August. And don't forget, you can tune in this Thursday night to watch the Speed Cup Series as they take it to race number 13 at the Richmond Raceway. And don't forget to check out the TNGG Bluegrass 100 as well, and the TNGG IEL Truck Series on Saturday night. For now, though, here from Iowa, it is just about that time. Unfortunate to say farewell. Once again, be sure to follow us on YouTube if you liked what you saw tonight, and be sure to tune in as well. It is a busy month coming on up in August and September with so many series. We're practically doubling our broadcast roster. It is going to be action-packed, and you'll be able to watch it all live right here from start to finish, every single race, almost every single day of the week. And we'll be more than happy to have you along with us for every lap of the way. My name is Little Rempo. Thank you for watching us for more racing action here in Newton, Iowa. For the OMSRL Xfinity Series, the Clash of the Corn Cobs goes to Spencer Ray.